So the algorithm of media, yes, there is one. I am finding out about this. The algorithm of purchasing, specifically around ads and marketing, subliminally, I think we're getting sold things that we don't even realize it. And that ultimately is getting us into some money problems and or some disorientation, let's just say, about our needs and our wants.
We're getting bombed. I'm tired of it.
That's aggressive.
How do I stop it?
How do we stop it?
How do I combat this world?
Can you stop yelling first of all?
I feel
like actually hurting my ears.
So before we get into this, what's the problem that we're trying to solve or address here today?
Well, I think the biggest problem is that 2 weeks ago on our show, we were talking about the American dream and the high price of homes, of just inflation in general, and how
marketing is involved with it.
Exactly. Yeah. And how this is playing a huge part in the lack of liquidity in our money.
This is definitely an anchor.
Yeah.
This is in no way lifting them out of anything.
We're getting sold a lifestyle we don't need or want. All right, well, how do I fight this?
Yeah, what's going on here? What's going on here?
First, we're going to talk about how the average person encounters between 4,000 to 10,000 ads a day on social media. So, and this will
How's that possible? How many?
Whether you realize it or not, most posts are ads or sponsored posts from a company. So, even if you're like, hey, you know, we're here recording Mindset today and you're drinking Mountain Valley, like Mountain Valley is probably sponsoring that video, and people see it enough times.
We hope.
We hope. Let me know.
And we see that enough times that then I'm now going to be like, as a viewer, I'm going to say, oh my gosh, what's that green water that Brad was drinking?
But this is not only, I mean, it is, we're seeing it on social media, but we're constantly billboards, TV shows, radio. Yeah. I mean, it's literally everywhere, more than ever in the history of mankind.
But that also means you have to be on social media like a lot.
Well, you'd be surprised how much you get shown just in a short period. Like if you spend an hour, you know, it's not uncommon for somebody to get home from work and then doom scroll for an hour plus.
Doom scroll?
Yes, that's what we call it.
What's the average of 5-6 hours a day people spend on social media?
Nah.
Yeah. Between lunch breaks, snack breaks.
Whoa.
In the morning, you know.
Average
when you get home.
Am I missing out?
No, you're not.
So there's an actual, so the basis of today, just to be clear, there's an actual algorithm behind this?
Yeah. So I mean, just in social media in general, there's an algorithm for like, if Jared watches something on Instagram and we're friends on social media and he really likes a certain topic or a certain influencer, I'm going to get shown it. Then if I continue to watch, you know, something about like somebody's shopping hauls, I'm just going to be shown more shopping hauls. You know what I mean? So
I have noticed that, like, my son and I got into fishing, or I've been, you know, fishing forever, and I was like, I looked up a lure that I saw or whatever, and now my entire feed, which whenever I go on, is like fishing. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Of course, I bought a few.
Fact check, by the way.
Last week.
It's actually, Gen Z spends about 4 hours a day.
Yeah, that's still way more than I thought.
But I mean, you're awake for an average of 16 to 18 hours a day.
I mean, it's what, 20% of your day?
It's a lot of your day.
Yeah.
Like, as an advisor, I talk about this and I even joke about it, right? I'm like, look, a retail therapy, I believe in that. I do think, but I think to an extent, right? But every purchase you've ever had loses its luster within like days.
What's that called again? Like the treadmill effect?
Yeah, it's treadmill effect. You're just always on it. The only way to stay on it is to start it. Once you start this whole thing, which is kind of what we're talking about, the algorithm just keeps feeding you and feeding you and feeding you.
So don't buy the lie. Hashtag.
But on that, a habit of spending $100 on a month on an ad-driven impulse buy can add up to over $104,000 in lost retirement savings, assuming a 6% return over 30 years.
Good stat.
Me likey.
Right into his bread box.
His Brad box.
My Brad box.
Huh?
Oh, see what you did there?
No, I don't want to know your Brad box.
A lot of crazy stuff in there. I do like that stat because I do think it tells a story of like, that's a 6 figures that could be yours. Now, some argue, well, Brad, I'm not going to see that for 40 years and I can enjoy all of it now. Yes, but how many things in your house right now that you have that you were really stoked on buying like a year ago that you don't even look at anymore?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I actually hate seeing clothes that I buy that I was like, I have to have the skirt.
Yeah.
And then it'll still have the tags 4 months later.
Junk drawers and closets full of stuff you don't really need.
Yep, see?
Annoying.
But it is pushing this materialism lifestyle that most of us don't need and are costing us a lot of money.
That generationally is way different than before. That's what we were saying on the show 2 weeks ago as well. So, okay, so that's the problem. The problem is we're being fed a ton of information. Now you, and don't take this the wrong way, all of us are uneducated to source these professionals selling us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like corporate hypnotism.
Kind of. Yeah.
That's crazy to think
It's been
about.
going on for a long time in our country, but at the same time, this is just like in your face 24/7 now.
Yeah.
Wait, that was a crazy comparison. Because you're right.
But real, right?
No, 100%. Well, I think especially when you're shown, like, I'll watch a lot of girls be like, oh, here's my clothes haul or something. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, like, do I need that much clothes? Like, maybe I need to go buy that. But you don't realize that behind the scenes, they're actually just sent a bunch of this free clothes and paid to make that ad so that you will go buy their clothes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see the behind the scenes stuff.
So let's give some people some meat here. How are they specifically getting you to spend their money?
Right. So much like there's an algorithm on social media, there's also an algorithm for advertisements. So the first way is through status signaling. So advertisements are specifically designed to equate products with success, happiness, and social belonging. So this increases lifestyle inflation, where
it's like beer ads or like pharmaceutical ads on television.
Yeah.
Like everyone's happy.
Right. They're trying to sell you a life.
You're not belonging if you don't do this thing with this product.
I mean, they've been doing this for years, like the cigarette ads and like all this stuff with bees.
Looks all good. Everyone's happy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like trends are a huge piece to play in this, especially with certain brands affiliated with certain celebrities or influencers.
What always gets me is car commercials. They make it look like these beautiful cars, and like one of my larger clients is they make the snow for commercials, the November to remember stuff kind of things, and like all those holiday things, and I'm like,
a Christmas car commercial will do a number on me for sure, especially because I'll be like, oh wait, a red car looks really good in a driveway.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want a red car
or
ever.
You come out the Mercedes, there's like a big bow on it.
Yeah.
Every year we see this. Amy's like, are you going to get me one of those for Christmas?
That's crazy, because when I just got my new car, I was like, are you going to put a bow on it? And
see, that's what's crazy. See, I have a wife who's like, don't you dare.
Good for you.
Anyway, the second way is through FOMO or scarcity. So kind of like we talked about on the luxury goods episode, limited time offers, flash sales, buy now prompts that bypass logical decision making. And then they trigger the anxiety of the fear of missing out.
Yeah.
I think another thing that's crazy about this is that there will be all these advertisements for, you know, like we do drops. Drops are a really big thing in like my generation right now, where they will buy a limited supply and then they'll be like, okay, live at 10 a.m. and it'll be sold out at 10:05. And a lot of people will use the buy now, pay later because they can't afford it. You're going to hate this. Wait for it. So nearly 73% of buy now, pay later users cite targeted social media ads and sponsored content as a direct factor in adopting installment debt.
Man, they're sucking the money straight out of us.
It's crazy. And all this stuff, unless it's like something that is actually necessary, this is all extra spending.
No, 100%.
This is that stuff that you want to look at a budget, like I'm talking about all the time. Not the word budget, but you want to look at your spending and your debt. This is where to look.
Yeah, and I think social media is one aspect of why it's worse now than it ever has been, but I also don't want to villainize social media. There's a couple other things that are also making this a lot worse. One of those is predictive AI and tracking. So platforms are now tracking your income bracket, your browsing habits, and your weak spots. So like if there's a certain post that will actually get you to buy that, you know, because they can track your like link
when
clicks.
I bought things.
Yeah. Then they'll be like, okay, well now they're selling that to advertisers to be like, oh, well actually like this was the type of ad that got them to purchase that product.
Cookies, man. Cookies.
Cookies.
You got really passionate about cookies.
No, he has some things to say.
I don't know if you've seen like now you go on any website,
anyway,
you have the option to reject, because they had to force people to say, hey, you can't just take information and clicks and all this and sell them to marketers, because this started years ago. I'd Google golf club, and then I'd go to a random site later, and on the side there'd be like golf club ads.
Yeah.
I mean, this started years ago, and now we're catching on. But all these people are using each other's information to put all that in front of us.
They're basically washing money. They're using their money's coming in over here to be sold over here, and it recycles back over here. It's kind of a crazy game.
So turn off your cookies.
No, it's a crazy, like when you think about the back end of things, it's a crazy world to comprehend.
This is interesting.
But the second one is frictionless purchasing. So buying items takes seconds, whether it's on a computer or a smartphone, and you remove that, you know, like the extra links to click. Like you're not just looking something up.
What's that app on? Like Instagram, that one that like saves all your information. That one, you click on that and everything's just there. It literally takes you 3 seconds.
Well,
this is dangerous. Amazon,
yes.
Dangerous.
So especially with time back into social media, a big thing for influencers right now is to be like, hey, here's my Amazon haul, comment shop, and then they send you shop, and then it's to the link of every item they had in the video, and you can just add it in one click to your Amazon cart.
But that's
making it easy.
That's bad
really
when you
easy.
can just be like, oh, I like that. And not even think about it. And that's purchases made.
Well, and that's like the biggest thing for marketing is like, how do we remove all those stop signs for our customer?
Yep.
Like the most
mental
seamless
friction is a big
it can
deal.
be.
It's under the guise of let's make it easier.
Yeah.
This is convenience.
Yeah.
All they're doing is like, nah.
Yeah.
Which is, really shows why this is so important though.
This is super important because this is not necessarily like this is not an anecdote or some of the wealth building process we talk about normally, but this is kind of like the silent killer. So a lot of times it's kind of like acknowledging the problem helps you solve the problem.
For sure.
So this is more of an acknowledgement video. I think this is fascinating because even me, I'm like, yeah, I kind of knew this stuff, but I didn't realize, to be frank, how gnarly it was.
No, for sure.
And then the influencer marketing kind of stuff, which is another thing, right? That's like kind of landing this plane on how they do this. That's what we were talking about that, but that's how the influencers come in, right?
Yeah.
Everything's influencer.
Because now the traditional ads that we kind of grew up with are largely ignored or non-authentic or not a vulnerable post or like, this really helped me get out of a bad situation. I just want to tell you about it kind of stuff, right? You know what I mean? Like that's what's happening. They're getting good. They're getting really, really good.
Yeah.
It's the feeling of like an authentic peer-to-peer like
you're
conversation.
talking just to you.
Yeah. Or like you're talking to your friend and like, well, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but like when me and my friends talk, we're like, oh my gosh, I love this blush from this brand.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh wait, I want to go and try that. And so that's basically what's happening on a digital level.
Yeah.
And that's how they're really selling.
And that's how your money is being squandered.
How do we fight back?
All right. So let's talk about how to fight back because here's some things that I think would be really good for us to go through. I'm going to let Kira lead this one because I'm going to add some color to these as an advisor, but let's go through these because these are good. These are really good for everybody.
Add your color.
Color commentary.
Number one is digital ad blocking.
Yeah.
So the most effective way to eliminate ads online is by installing reliable open source ad blockers. So there's different ones for every desktop, mobile browser, and everything like that. A couple ones are uBlock Origin and Google Chrome. And then for mobile devices, you can use privacy focused web browsers like the Brave browser on iOS or Android.
A buddy of mine told me like DuckDuckGo or whatever. It's like a private browser kind of thing. And so like if I look up like a pair of shoes or something like that I saw, then I won't be like targeted with shoes or something like that. Is that one of those, I'm assuming? What you're talking about? Okay. All right.
Number two, network-wide ad blocking. So there's what's called DNS filtering. So there's private DNS in your device settings that you can set up that will help with all of this kind of stuff. And there's hardware solutions. So advanced users will often install network filters on a local home server to block ads across all devices that are connected to Wi-Fi.
See, I want to do this. My son started watching. We allow him
Great
to do.
thing for parents.
I was just going to say, my son, we watch like dirt biking videos and like fishing videos. I let him do like 30 minutes a day on YouTube and on the child thing and we lock it all down. But again, it's hard because you can do that, but then I'm watching a video of this guy riding this one motorbike and my Brooks says, now I want that bike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm literally describing to him like, he's selling you something, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay. It's cool to watch, but like, it's hard. You can even do all the blocking to it, but you can still watch something that the product's in it.
Right.
That's why they're doing that.
Correct.
Yeah.
You can't block that.
You can't block
content
that.
Based.
So it's tricky.
Number three, alter privacy and platform settings. So on social media, algorithms can constantly monitor your behavior to serve you targeted, highly persuasive ads. But on Google Ads, you can turn off measurement and deactivate personalized topics or reset your advertising ID.
Well, that's good.
On social media, you can regularly adjust your privacy settings on platforms like Meta Ads Manager to limit data companies being able to use your consumer profile.
You're allowed to say, I don't want you to, right? Yeah.
And I think that's another thing that like kind of on your cookies topic that a lot of people are just...
Cookies.
Cookie Monster.
C is for cookie.
I think a lot of people are just unaware of this. Like we also were talking about like the AI thing last week, how now Meta is just automatically enrolling people into their content being used for AI.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times we're just auto-enrolled in a lot of this stuff that we're unaware of.
See, that to me shouldn't be allowed, but I'm not barking up a tree on that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's just something to be aware of that like these companies are doing that. So regularly monitor your privacy and, data companies being able to use your stuff. So just watch your settings.
Okay.
And then number four, I feel like this one is probably the biggest one, but limit your exposure and your psychological conditioning. So the best way to stop seeing ads is to remove the source of them. So reduce passive ads. So unsubscribe from commercial email. I started doing this because if I don't see the name pop up, if I don't see like the email come in that their new drop happened, then I don't feel like I'm missing out on something, and then I don't partake in it.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
It is.
Right?
Yep, 100%. Also, limiting screen time breaks the cycle, and I mean, helps with a whole bunch of other things.
Go outside.
Go outside. Enjoy the day.
Put it down, yeah.
I literally tried to give you that advice today, and you didn't want to listen. Crazy.
Not on social media, but just generally getting out of the studio and seeing daylight.
World Cup is on. Okay, I was watching World Cup.
Big things.
That's a good excuse.
True.
Just practice mindfulness. So cultivate conscious awareness. Are you shopping a lot? Did you just purchase things? I know something for me, like when I go shopping, I try to like wait a month or two before I buy new clothes. That helps a
setting
lot.
your own like parameters on these kind of things. I think as an advisor, I always get stuck in a tricky spot because it's like I'm not trying to get into people's business. They're asking me, but generally speaking, across the board, I always think it's easiest in this practicing mindfulness to help you guys is to move them into categories of need versus want. Now, a lot of what we're talking about here will likely fall into the want category. So it's kind of like, well, okay, we kind of skip past the first step, but it does tell you, hey, the first step is just to be clear, this isn't a need. Your brain and what they're teaching you is to tell you that you do need it. But if you really, really are conscious about it, be like, is it really a need? Like, really?
But if you see these advertisements everywhere, constantly bombarding it, your mind is going to say, I need.
Agreed. So what I'm saying is to help the mind before it gets to that point, right? On any product you're seeing or any platform, is to help yourself define for you what your needs and your wants really are.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a fix-all, but to your point, it will help you limit some of these things and bring what's subconscious to the conscious. That's what we're trying to do here, right? Just give you a fighting chance to think through the decision, because the decisions you're making that you don't realize you're making, which is what this is all about, is what's secretly eating at your goals for having financial freedom, being out of debt, retiring early, you know what I mean? All the things that we talk about here, all the things that I talk about in my practice, right?
Yeah.
The last one is to support ad-free ecosystems. So there's a bunch of platforms where you can sometimes pay for premium. And I know that's like kind of an idea of like paying to save. But
if you, I don't know what it is. If you pay $20 to limit yourself from $100 spend, I'd do that deal all day long.
Yeah.
Sure, if that's a real problem and that's the only way to do it.
And if that's like a real solution for you, but it's something to think about. I mean,
one thing to add on this too, and I don't know the brand, I mean, people can comment here on the YouTube channel. I'm sure people have an opinion on this one, but there's a lot of tracking sources that you can put your credit cards, your debit cards through that'll then summarize for you in a monthly where you spent things.
I know, but if you make, an energy drink run once a day, it's kind of like the coffee topic where people are like, is my coffee once a day going to add up and cause whatever?
It's what they say, death by 1,000 cuts.
Oh, that's good. I like the idea. Bring the subconscious to the conscious to really know what you're spending.
But know what you're spending and then know how that relates. You don't want to be the hypocrite saying, I can't save, I can't invest, I'm in this deadbeat job, and they're blaming the job. And I'm like, well, to be fair, before we go that route, what are we doing in the personal life?
Look at all my new shoes and bags and clothes.
Kind of. And I'm not, look, we all fall into this victim, but like, choose your hard, as they say, right? Being in debt is hard. I get that, right? Being financially free and not spending on these things that you do want is also hard. Okay? So it's kind of like choose your hard,
Yeah. I think it's great. This is something not enough people are aware of.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing to get ahead of.
I didn't realize how much of an algorithm went into this. I mean, it kind of makes sense. And I guess I knew it was out there, but these things are crazy and they are powerful. The predictive AI thing now, particularly, but then it's feeding into things that we already have had forever. All of us as human beings, we want to be included.
Yeah.
That's a general human trait, right?
For sure.
We all want to feel like we had something that was of scarce resource.
Well, there's a reason that psychology goes hand in hand with advertising.
Big time. Yeah. It is the number one thing and that's why money in general is way more psychological than we give it credit for. And that's why we do this show, with a mindset of how we think about things. This is massive. This is a big one, a very cool one, important to know about. And I think that digital ad blocking, the network-wide blocking, the privacy platform settings, any sort of apps that can track your spending to kind of filter out where things are at the end of the month so you can at least see it.
Yeah. And bonus tip,
Bonus tip.
Bonus tips. I know. Where you can save credit card information, don't. Because I know.
I don't.
That's actually smart. Because then you're like, oh, there. And I'm like, oh, my credit card's downstairs.
I have to manually put it in on each purchase.
That's actually smart.
4 times in the last couple of weeks, I've been like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go buy this thing. And then my credit card information will need like my security code. And I'll be like, I don't know that.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to go get my card. And that causing a second guess will be like, oh, actually, I don't need this.
I think this is just more of like an understanding what the general issue might be that you're dealing with when it comes to money. This is a big one. You have to be aware of this stuff. This will bring back so much money per month if you actually brought it to the conscious level and really did what Kara was talking about and some of the things we were going through today. I'm telling you, man, it's a big one. And then the second step would be, once you figure that out, what that is for you, moving it aside. That's the whole, hey, Brad, how do you make money? Pretty simple. Spend less than you make and invest the difference. That's the difference.
This is the spend less part.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the difference part, because when you have the spend less part and you figure that out, then put it to work.
Yeah.
Have it work for you instead of working against you, right? It's kind of it's that statement of it's simple but not easy. So let's work it together. Let's figure it out. Leave us a comment if you agree. Let us know if you guys have any issues with this kind of stuff. We'd love to kind of get into our community and talk about this. Obviously, we're getting a ton more followers here, and we're very, very grateful for that. So it's really important for us to kind of like try to reach out and help out. So reach out to us. Let us know. I mean, let us know of topics like this that you want to speak about. We love going through it here on Mindset. We got some great shows coming up for you, so thank you for all of our subscribers. We love you all. We're very grateful to you. And if you're new to this channel, we come up with great topics every week to kind of go through. As a seasoned financial advisor, I like talking about this kind of things because these are all things I deal with every day for nearly 2 decades. So it's very real. You're not alone. Let's build wealth together, friends. That's what we're trying to do here. All right. And with that, I guess, as always, until next week, if you lead with love, it's going to be all right. See you guys.